Søren, thanks so much for joining me in this interview. We're here in very sunny Barcelona at the ISF World Seed Congress, and I'm very glad that you're making the time in your busy schedule to do an interview.
Absolutely.
One thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Søren, is the commodity markets. We know it's very much in flux. Energy prices are super high. Fertilizer prices are super high. How are the developments in the commodity markets influencing a seed company such as DLF?
Yeah, so as you're stating, with all the increasing cost prices for fertilizers and so on, seed prices necessary also need to go up. And especially when we look at our farmers and to get the seed produced, they are looking for the alternative crops or the crops where they can get the highest return on their farms, obviously. So one of the areas where we are really, forced as a seed company and as DLF is to make sure that we pay our farmers, our growers, a price that matches the ag commodities that we see and the price levels that we see in the market. And that's a challenge for not only DLF, but for all seed companies to carry these prices into the market.
Yeah, absolutely. Very challenging times.
I would say we have different platforms that are moving now in the market. One thing is the ag commodity prices, fertilizers and so on. We have the inflations as well, skyrocketing in a lot of areas and markets. And we also see the interest rates starting to go up. So we basically have a situation where prices are moving up. And then you can question how big is the consumption these days. So there are a lot of different dynamics. We have also seen a harvest in North America when it comes to grass seed, at least, that is below expectation last year. We had a decent harvest in Europe. So we have different availabilities around the world. On top of this, you can add supply chain issues and getting seed into the ports. Lately, we have had some issues in China due to Corona, actually, where we thought Corona was sort of a past disease somehow. Then they started up in Shanghai again, and the port of Shanghai closed down. And then we thought, okay, now we can move seed to Beijing, and then Beijing closes down. So there are a lot of different dynamics going on in the market right now.
But you mentioned already the farmers, and DLF is, of course, developing new products for the farmers. How do you go about it, developing those new products?
So the way we look at it in DLF is there's two ways of developing new products. Either you get knowledge from the market back to your R&D, or the R&D guys will develop something that we bring into the market. So those are the two streams, basically, from the market or from the R&D into the market. We have a lot of breeders and product managers and commercial people who works together to spot the latest trending, what's going on in the market. For instance, with the green agenda and sustainability, what are the trends and what can we see that's going on in the market? For instance, we launched, I think it was last year, a concept around roof and drought, and that was basically developed over the years. This specific concept of promoting varieties with longer roof, as we have discussed about before. So getting the right people together, the market, the commercial people and the breeders together in groups to develop new concepts and solutions.
That's very interesting, Søren, that you're developing these new products. You mentioned the farmers, but it is, of course, not all roses and sunshine. There are certain challenges. And where do you see threats at the moment when developing those new products?
So not only when developing new products, but I would say in general, when we look into market right now, there's a lot of threats with, as I stated before, with the interest rate and the inflation going on. And that will cause some issues for our farmers and those who buy our solutions, because obviously everything is going to be more expensive. So the solution that we bring into the market is also going to be more expensive. And that's the fact, the cost of developing these new traits and solutions that we bring in will be more costly. So that's one threat. But I actually also see a different threat, and that's more from the regulators. So what kind of rules are we looking into? What kind of seed regulation that we're looking into. And right now, there's a lot of debate around the seed regulation in Europe. And we are wondering where it will end up. Hopefully, we'll keep the whole system around certified seed, because if we do not have the certified seed rules that we have in Europe, then we'll take the value out of the market, which is extremely important that we keep. Else, it's too costly for us spending all the money in research and development.
Yeah. You mentioned the seed regulations. For you as a seed company, is it better to have an aligned set of regulations, or every country for himself?
No, it's much better to have a aligned set of regulations and a standardized way of looking into this. But what we need to ensure is that those who spend a lot of money in research and development are also getting the payback on the money spent. And if it's not regulated and standardized, it's going to be difficult to get the value that's needed to invest in the future. Because for sure, the technology that we're looking in is not cheap. It's very expensive technologies that we're looking into. So we need to know what we can use of technologies in the future, so we're not spending money in the wrong place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only challenging times, but it's also exciting times with lots of opportunities, obviously. Where do you see some opportunities for the seed sector?
I would say in general, the whole sustainability and green agenda is a super huge opportunity for not only for DLF, but for the whole seed sector. I actually think we can combine launching sustainable solution and creating more values in a nice combination. And I actually think that in the seed sector, and definitely in DLF, we already now have some of the solutions that will help us bridge into the future. So there I see a lot of opportunities. We need still to invest more in this, and there's a lot more to come to the market that will help us bridge both value and sustainability, and that are going to help the farmers and the rest of our customers to produce more with less, which is basically what we like.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Søren. Thanks so much.
Thank you.